Hello and welcome back to Foodie Fridays. This week we're making red velvet cookies. If we haven't met before, I'm Emily Leggett, the teen librarian at the Tewksbury Library and the person who runs Foodie Fridays every week. Here's the list of ingredients of items that you'll need. In this recipe, we did not include cream cheese frosting, but that tends to be a staple for red velvet cookies or cupcakes, so feel free to add that if you're interested. First things first, we are going to take 1 cup or 2 sticks of unsalted butter and either soften it to room temperature, or if you are on a short time limit, put it in the microwave to make sure it's softened up so you can mix it. Once your butter is softened, you're going to add half a cup of granulated sugar and 3/4 of a cup of light brown sugar. Something I will say is throughout this video, you may see me use measurements that are not the correct measuring cup. There were some cups I didn't have, so I measured with the ones given. So just a heads up that for this, it is half a cup of sugar and 3/4 a cup of light brown sugar packed. Now you're going to mix it all together. I use this electric mixer. You can mix it by hand. It just may take a little bit longer. You can use whatever method you'd like, as long as it's all mixed and it's going to be really smooth at the end. After it's smoothed out, you're going to add your 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. After this, you'll be adding 2 large eggs. Sometimes it's easier to crack it over another bowl so you don't have to worry about getting eggshell in it, but you can also crack it over the bowl you're using right now. Next up, you're going to mix again. You're going to get a lot of use out of an electric mixer if you were using it, or if you were hand mixing, you were going to get a good workout because there's lots of mixing in this recipe. Once everything is smooth again, you're going to add your red food coloring. You can skip this step, you don't have to. It's to give it the red velvet look. However, I will say, I thought I had the right coloring and it looked right in the baking aspect, like when we had the mix, but once I cooked it, they turned brown. So, feel free to do it, it's really only for the aesthetic. Now that this is done, you're going to put that bowl to the side and take another. In this one, you are going to put 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, which I already have in the bowl here. Next, you're going to add 1/4 a cup of natural cocoa powder. And of course, your 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This is also the step where you're going to add your 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're going to see me do that a little bit later with the salt shaker. The next step is going to be to mix all of these items together. Like we usually do when we do Foodie Fridays, you really want to make sure you get around the corners, on the bottom, so there is nothing left, like there's not any separated salt or flour or cocoa powder. All right, you have your two bowls. Now you're going to put them together. You can grab your mix with the wet ingredients, and as you'll see, I'll swap it out, and then pour your dry ingredients in. This is the time where it's really helpful. You'll see I have a paper towel under my bowl. It really helps get anything that falls out of that bowl from the top. Can you guess what time it is? You are correct. It is time to mix once more. Either get that electric hand mixer, get a spoon so you can mix it, and mix these ingredients together. Once everything is mixed, this is my favorite step, you are going to add 1 and 1/2 cups of white chocolate chips. You can also take white chocolate and chop it up if you would like. I just find the chocolate chips easier. And of course, once more, you are going to mix it. This time I did not use an electric mixer because I didn't want the chips to get stuck. You can do whatever you'd like. You really want to make sure that those chocolate chips are mixed throughout so your cookies have an even amount of chips in them. Once I complete this step, something that I do not have recorded of me doing is I take scoops, you can use a cookie scoop or a spoon, and roll in my hands the cookie balls for a tray. That is what they looked like when they were in the oven. That's what I rolled them into. I ended up making, I believe, 24 cookies. You can roll them as big or small as you would like. Just remember that changes the cooking time. Speaking of cooking time, the original recipe called for 8 to 11 minutes of cooking at 350 bake. What I will say is my cookies, because my oven is a little bit older, took 25 minutes to cook, and I did make cookies a little bit larger. So what I suggest is you start cooking your cookies at 8 to 10 minutes long and then check on them. Are they cookie shaped? Are they still watery? Do they need a little bit more time? And then keep doing in 5-minute increments as needed to see what works for your oven. And that's it. You have cookies. What I do suggest is if you're looking more for a red velvety taste, that you add that cream cheese frosting. It definitely tastes like delicious cookies. And be very careful with your coloring if you care that they look like red velvet cookies. As I said, mine came out a bit brown, but they were delicious. Once your cookies are done and cooling, you can add some more chocolate chips on the top if you would like, just for looks. We hope you've had a great time at Foodie Friday, and as always, we would love to see what you've made. Feel free to share it with us on social media, send us an email, and remember, Foodie Friday is a monthly event, so check our calendar, tewksburypl.org, to see what we're making next. We'll see you next time. Bye!